Celebrating 40 years is a significant milestone that often evokes reflection, gratitude, and recognition of accomplishment.
Feeling very excited about it. When I reflect on it, some artists took 10 to 15 years before they get through. They keep knocking at the door. The first time the nation heard about the Limers Gilbert, they show me that love. They show me that respect. They go crazy over the beats. They go crazy over the excitement. They go crazy over the rhythm. And I appreciate that.
Sunday, August 3rd at the Progress Park in St. Andrew. It's Specky 40. Tickets available from gotofed.com. Presented by Limers Gilbert in association with the Spice Mass Corporation and Sedu.
Who want to jam a jamming too?
Calling the CARICOM community, assembling Global Africa, the 4th edition of the Afri-Caribbean Trade Investment Forum. Active 2025 is coming to St. George, Grenada, this 28th to 29th July. Join government and business leaders, investors, and trade and finance institutions to explore the theme, Resilience and Transformation. Enhancing Africa-Caribbean economic cooperation in an era of global uncertainty. Be there as we stand together to strengthen our commercial ties, to promote shared trade and investment opportunities, and unlock prosperity for Africa, the Caribbean, and the wider diaspora. The 4th Afri-Caribbean Trade and Investment Forum. Reserve your place now at active2025.com.
Yeah. RideAlong Live. Welcome to the ride. Thursday. Beautiful Thursday. Lacey J, how you doing? Welcome. Lydia, how you doing? Sorry guys, I'm late. I really don't like to be late. It really hurts me, bothers me to be late. But we had a little connection problem with our guests a little bit earlier, and it sort of threw up the time a bit, right? But I apologize, because I saw people messaging me, waiting live. You guys get already. Lord of mercy. Lord of mercy. I love you guys anyway. Anyway, guys, today we have a story to share. Very interesting story. And I think it's sort of a story that we could legally learn from. So there might be some jargons that will be used. Very interesting, I must say. So much so that I have to disclaimer this particular story, right? I have to disclaimer this. So I ain't wasting no time. From the top, let me first say that the views and opinion expressed by the guests on tonight's program, particularly on any sensitive topic, are solely those of the guests and do not reflect that the views and opinion and the policies of RideAlong Live, its management, or its affiliate. RideAlong Live is committed to providing a platform for open dialogue while maintaining neutrality on opinion shared by the guests. We encourage viewers to approach all discussion with an open mind and respect the different perspective. And of course, thank you for watching and being a part of this program. So, yes, guys, so it is a very interesting legal conversation where different people listening might have a different perspective on it. And as you know, whenever we bring a story here on Ride Along Live, we do our due diligence. So because the story is so sensitive, it's very sensitive, I spent 2 whole days preparing for it. One, I got a chance to speak to everyone on the other side whose name may or may not be called. Also, we must say that we encourage the guests to don't call names, but that's our recommendation. So we did in fact get a chance to speak to everyone. So we do have both sides' perspective on it. So I'll press the guests on some of the things that is said here. But I think it's an important conversation to learn from legally. I think we could take away a lot from the conversation today. So what I want you guys to do is share the program a couple times. Lacey J, I don't control the commercials. I'm sorry, but I don't control the commercials. Facebook does its own thing. Facebook insert their commercials. But you should be happy when Facebook put a commercial, because at least we get in a little bit of cash to keep the lights on in studio, right? So whenever you see an ad come on, just say thank you, Facebook. Because Facebook is doing its job in making sure that we could sustain ourselves. So add followers, everybody. Add followers right now. Add followers. Lacey J, you like Ting, eh? You really like Ting. Share it on a page as well. Denny's Malise, how you doing? Jennifer Lawrence, how you doing? Thompson Cador, we met up in Guave the other day. Big up yourself, Thompson Cador. Yeah, man. Okay, guys, so we ain't wasting no time. I'm already late. So let's go. My guest today is joining me via the phone lines because earlier today we had problems connecting. So let us welcome via the phone line right now. Her name is Miss Gloria Richardson. Miss Richardson, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hi, Miss Richardson. Welcome to Ride Along. How are you doing today?
Thank you very much. I'm doing fine.
Okay, nice. And thanks for reaching out to us. Again, I want to add and stress that this platform is a neutral platform. As we say from the beginning, everyone has a story to tell. And Miss Richardson has a story to tell. And as I said, we did our due diligence. We listened to her. We listened to all sides. I spoke to all sides involved so we could articulate and at least push back on some of the things so we could keep everything in a transparent manner. So again, Miss Richardson, let's start with you, Miss Richardson. Tell us a little bit about who is Miss Richardson? Who is Gloria Richardson?
Well, Gloria Richardson is a born Grenadian from Grenville, St. Andrews. And what more can I say about Gloria? I travel a bit. I went to nursing school. I learned my profession. And I'm back home after a few years abroad. And now I'm here. I'm a geriatric carer by profession. I was trained in Trillium. And I'm back home now and trying to get along with life.
Okay. All right. Sounds good enough. Tell us about your occupation and what you do.
Yes, I'm a geriatric carer by profession. I love my job. I love what I do. And that's what I do.
Right. Tell us about geriatric care. Tell us about the process and who you care for and everything associated with your job duties.
Now, well, my job, I was trained as a carer from the Trillium, and I'm capable of taking care of somebody who has a stroke, somebody who you can bathe, brush their teeth, feed them. Also, I did a course in 3 courses in dementia. Like people with dementia, they have a different behavior. I did 3 courses in that. And just loving them, caring for them. But one thing I must say though, I would like to say that I hope everybody will be able to keep the senior citizen at home. Me personally do not like the nursing home, though I understand sometimes it's not the parents or children who they're not able to keep them at home, but it's good to keep them at home. One, they know the house, they know where the bathroom, the kitchen, the whatever. They can move along, they enjoy the scenery they are accustomed to. But in the home, I mean, it's a different kettle of fish. The when you're in a nursing home is different. So I always like to encourage people to keep the seniors at home. I said to my children and my grandchildren, when my turn reach, please do not put me in any home. Leave me in my house. I work hard
Yeah.
and take care of me, but no happy hour, no casting.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, Miss Richardson, you contacted us on a story stating
Yes,
that you are accused of some serious crimes and that you're
very
not
serious.
satisfied with the outcome, what followed, and what transpired, and what happened, and what even the unclear and uncertainty that you have up to a day like today. Where does your story start?
Well, my story starts. I worked in Grenada,
Uh-huh.
and I, well, I had a accident on the job after 11 months of working my former employer. And I got sick leave. I was trying my best to rescue that patient from jumping over the wall. And in the process of that, I got injured. So I went to the doctor and I got 1 week sick leave. And when I returned to work, my former employer said to me, "Sorry, your service is no longer required. Pick up your check." And she said, "Where?" And I left. I said to her, just like that, what's about the agreement we had? You know that you give 2 weeks notice because I'm with you 11 months. And she says, I already gotten somebody from the country who will be paid much less than you are getting.
Right.
Well, however, I left the job and so on. I left there and I went. But I went over to work for somebody right on that area, the very said area. And I was working, everything was fine. And then my former employer came and had a discussion with the present employer, and then in the morning, 6 o'clock, my employer said to me, You have to leave. And, when you work at night, you walk with your little milk and whatever you feel to be something at night. She said, Don't take that. Just go just as you are, and we'll get your stuff to you. I said, But what happened? But however, I, from there on, people is calling me for job. And everywhere I went, people wasn't hiring me. However, after about 2 months, approximately 3 months, I got a call from one of those journalists, and they told me that my former employer was presently at the studio yesterday, and she asked them to put up an ad on the paper, an article stating there is this woman who goes around taking care of senior citizens, and she called my name Gloria Richardson.
Right.
Please ask the people, do not employ her because she's responsible for my father's death and also her former employer. And she stole 12,000 Canadian dollars at the place. However, right away, I went in and I asked everybody who was there at that particular time, and they all said the same thing. They said yes. However, I went up to ask them if they will serve me witness in court. They all agree. They all agreed to it. So I went up to a lawyer by the name of Mr. Hood. And I'm taking responsibility here because I'm calling the names. I have the evidence.
Right.
Now, I went to Mr. Hood and I told him what and what. He asked me, I gave him the names of the witnesses and stuff, and he did whatever supposed to be done on that side.
Right, stick
He
a pin right
asked,
there.
he had to write.
Stick a pin right there, just for clarity. So you're saying that your former employer made certain claims to a journalist to print certain things in a newspaper that you are
Yes.
responsible for the death of that person's family member?
Forefather.
Did
Yes,
you hear that?
forefather.
Did you hear that from the journalist? Did the
Yes.
journalist, and could the journalist verify that your former employer actually said that?
Yes, three of the journalists, it's five workers that was there. Three journalists and the two workers. I think it's one is anyway, they do different jobs, but the three journalists testify yes that she says that.
Okay. Okay.
So I went to Mr. Hood and he did his writing letter and whatever. However, there comes a time when we have a court hearing.
Okay.
And the day of the court hearing, but that took a long time, eh? But however, the day of the court hearing, I went in the court. I've never been there. I went there. When the police called and I went in there, I met my former employee, my former employer and her husband, Miss um, Miss Wilkinson,
Right.
and the two ladies.
Okay.
My lawyer, Mr. Hood, was not
Right. Okay.
in that.
Before you go there again, let me just clarify this. Now, you're saying that Mr. Hood was retained legitimately as your lawyer, the legal representative, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Were
So
there a specific financial arrangement from about how he would handle the case? Did you make a payment to him? Was it a arrangement based on the outcome of the case? What was the financial payment arrangement to retain Mr. Hood?
no, no, I paid him for work that was done, like writing and so on. But the case, when I asked him how much the case will charge overall, he says to me he don't know. He cannot tell me at this point in time because sometimes we might get a settlement. The case might prolong a long time, you know. So anyway, we go talk about it. We go talk about that. Just like that, he going down the line. So we did not have a fixed price to at the end of the case what the cost will be.
Right.
But I did pay him already for the writing the letters, the counseling, the things like that. I did pay him for that.
And
What was requested.
and you have the receipt of payment that you made
Well,
to your lawyer for those things?
he did give me those receipts whenever I paid him for the work that he did.
Right.
Like those things. But after I got ill and so on, I burn everything. I try to get myself out of it, and I get rid of everything.
Right.
And lower down the line, the listeners will understand why, you know.
Right. Okay. So let me
And
update
so
everyone. Let me update everyone again. I don't want to lose anyone in the process of the story. So you saying that you felt like you was wrongly accused of something that you did not do. So because of that defamation,
yes,
you decided that you would take your former employer to court. You contact your lawyer. You legitimately retain the services of Mr. Hood,
yes,
and he was your
yes, sir.
lawyer representing you in this particular matter.
Yes, sir.
Right, the defamation, and that was was it defamation? that he was claiming?
Yes, definition of character.
Right. Okay. One other question before we go forward, as it relates to that. Did the newspaper actually print the article?
No,
They didn't print the
no,
article.
because they contact me first to hear my side of it.
Okay.
So after hearing my side, they didn't print it and print it.
Okay. Okay. All right. So you contact Mr. Hood, is your lawyer, legitimately retained, as you said, and he was representing you in this particular case right here. What was the
Yes, sir.
go through from there? What was the outcome? What was the processes after he was retained as your lawyer?
Well, we happened to go to court.
Uh-huh.
And like I was saying, on the day of court, the day of the court, during the process of that few years, um, one time, which I forget to mention to you, one time he did call me just a couple weeks before the case. But every time we have a hearing, the employer, the former employer, never came. But however, one day he called me and he says, the people want to give you X amount of money to settle. And I said, no. He said, how much? And I told him. However, that remains there. So the other time we met is at the courthouse.
Right.
Now, I want this to be clearly understood now. At the day of the hearing in a court in a magistrate court of law, I walk into the courtroom was called by the police officer. I met my former employer and her husband, Miss Wilkinson, and two ladies. Well, of course, I said good morning. My lawyer was on the other side of the building, yes, dusting or packing up his books. He was not in that group. And Mrs. Wilkinson said to me, Mrs. Richardson, the judge sent two ladies here. She said that we must settle the case. So she sent two ladies here as mediator to make sure that we have a fair settlement.
Right. Okay.
That was her word.
So
That
let
we
me
have a
let me
fair
let, let,
settlement.
let me catch up. So you were suing for defamation, a certain particular figure that you claim because you felt that you couldn't get work. Why did you? What how did the claim affected you, and what was the sum of money that you
Yes,
was claiming for?
right. So then now let me get to that. Miss Lady offered me now in the court of law, the day
Right.
of the day of the hearing. She says, I'm offering you 30,000 in the space of 6 months. I'll give you 5,000 per month. I said no. She said, what is your figure? What are you asking? I said 200,000.
How
She
did you
said,
arrive at that? How did you arrive at that? Yeah, that was
that's
right.
how do you arrive at that? Then I said to her, from since I was fired by my former employer, that I went to work for this particular person I work with in mid-month when they just dismissed me, when my former employer came and had a meeting with her, my present employer, and I was dismissed. I don't know why. And then everywhere I go looking job, people is calling me and people is telling me that I want you to start so and so time. But they would ask, where did you work? What is your last place of employment? At that time, I was giving them my last place of employment
Right.
because I didn't know yet that rumor was out.
Okay.
So I go on for a year, 2 years. Mr. Judge, I got sick. I got nervous breakdown. I can't walk everywhere. I got right now on medication. I do not know if I will ever able to walk. You see, in Grenada, they have this stigma. Doesn't matter how you come along from that illness, they still put this on you. When Dr. forget his name now, tell me I have to go up there to get treatment, my daughter says, no, you're not going anywhere.
Right.
And she took me to a psychiatrist in the mall, which we had many, many, many sessions. Now I'm saying this, I mean, look, the good Lord give me back my breaking law.
Yeah.
Give me back my sanity so I can tell this story.
Right.
And I'm
But
not making up anything.
right. Well, I want us to stay on track here. So you decided that your figure was going to be $200,000. Your claim is that the reason why you arrive at $200,000 is simply because you aren't able to find work. That's what you're saying, right?
That's one thing. That's one thing. But accusing me of murder, this is a big deal. You kill two persons, and then I cannot walk anyway. The record is there. The stigma is there. So I mean, can you imagine you accused of murder? If they find you guilty, what happened? Lifetime in jail sentence or whatever?
Right.
And I was nowhere around when the gentleman died. And my former employer, before the last one, is the one that recommended me to the employer, to that particular employer.
Right.
And the money that she says that she missed. Well, I was not working there any at that time, but she didn't. I'm not going to stay here and say the other employee must have stolen. There was no money because that very week she went to Canada. You're not living in a house, and you're going to take $12,000 from your house where you live in and bring it in your parents' house, which way you don't live, while you're going over to Canada where you will gain that currency.
Right.
Imagine 12,000 Canadian.
Well,
So there was no money.
Your assumption is that there was no money there.
I know there was no money.
Okay. All right. So,
Yes.
so your claim is that there was no money. You didn't take any money. You wasn't working there at the time. You could not have been responsible for that. What
Right.
was the finding? What was the finding by the judge, and what their final decision? And what was the process after, during the process of coming to some kind of agreement about that $200,000? What was the decision?
So when I told her my price, she got up and she's telling me, let's go outside. And I stood up and I looked at my lawyer because, like I said, he was not in the group amongst us to any conversation. He was over on the other side on his desk, packing books and stuff. So I look at him and he gave me a head signal, go on. So I went. She held my hand. That is Miss Wilkinson. That is the lawyer of my former employer. She was representing the defendant. She take me by my hand and she brought me to a little room. It was dark, no light, and hot. And she says to me, we have to settle this matter. Mr. Judge, she massaged my head. I've never gotten a head massage like this for approximately an hour. While she was I call it a threat, maybe not a threat, but while she was saying to me,
Hold on. You believe that she threatened you?
Yes, so I feel. And I will tell you that.
Well, and that is, and hold on 1 second. I want you to thread that because it's your belief that it was some sort of threat. But let me just backtrack on that because I did get a chance to speak to the lawyer there, and what was said was that it was a decision by the judge to have this conversation so you could mediate the figures and they could come to some kind of agreement.
Okay.
So that's what was said from the other side.
Right. Mr. Judge, Miss Wilkinson said to me that the judge sent two mediators. The two ladies were there to settle the matter, to make sure we have a fair settlement, because the court backed up. So if you could settle the matter, that will get out of it.
Right.
So now she took me to that room, myself and her, Miss Wilkinson. No lawyer, my lawyer who was not there, the mediators was not there. And she started massaging me and was saying to me that I have to matter. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, you're cutting in and out. Are you getting a call
Hello?
are you getting a call on the next line?
Can you hear me, sir?
If you're getting a call, decline the call that's coming in. If you're getting a call, decline the call that's coming in.
I was getting a call, but
Yeah, if you're getting a call on the next line, you have to decline the next call so that you will be.
decline it.
Okay,
So,
all right.
in the
Hold on. Let's slow down real quick. Was your lawyer present while your claim was that she was interrogating you or questioning you? Was your lawyer in the room at the same time?
No, sir.
Where was your lawyer?
Well, when she told me, let's go outside, we left him in the corner where he was packing his desk. Like I said, he was never sitting with us in the conversation, during the conversation in the courtroom. He was never there. He was on the other side packing up his desk, his books.
Right.
But he did indicate to me that I could go with her.
Right.
She took me by my hand, and the mediators was not there in the room where I was interrogated by Miss Wilkinson and threatened.
Okay.
And this was what she said to me.
Hold on. I want you to be very cautious of the use of that word, because it might be taken as if she did something physical to you. So I want you to be guided by those words. You said that she brought you into the room and she interrogated you. To threaten someone would mean that they utter words that made you feel scared for your life or things of that sort. I just want to make clear, none of that happened, correct?
Yes, so
it was
I apologize.
So I want you to be very guarded, because it was not a threat. It was more of a conversation, correct?
Okay.
All right.
But I would like to say what she said to me.
Right. So you can say what's said to you. I don't want you to, I just want to make this clear. I don't want you to put things in place that was not there. She did not, if she didn't threaten you physically, I don't want you to say and claim that it was a threat, because that would be assuming things that actually did not occur.
I recall that statement, sir.
Okay, I just wanted to make that very clear. Yes.
So she said to me, now you have to settle the case.
Right.
Now, and this thing got puzzled. She says the judge already decided that she will dismiss the case, and then you will go without anything. So you have to settle the matter because you had expenses, and she said, woman to woman. I mean, you had expenses, so you have to settle the matter. I was insist that I will settle the matter for nothing less than 200,000.
Okay.
I tried to explain to her that calling me a murderer and a thief, and I couldn't work for all this time. I got mental breakdown and everything. I may never work in my life again. I asked her, will you hire me? But she didn't reply. But she will insist that I settle the matter.
Okay.
After a long process, of massage and things. She stamped her leg and she said, come on, I'm offering you $50,000 and I will pay the lawyer fee. And I said, mm-hmm. And she get up and she left. She went into wherever she went, I don't know, but before she left, she says, don't come out of that room here. Stay here and don't speak to nobody, especially Mr. Worm. Well, I don't know Mr. Worm. I don't know who is Mr. Worm, eh? So she went in approximately 10 minutes. She came back with Mr. Who and the two mediators.
Okay.
And she said to me, they agree. So I said, good. When she sat down, Mr. Hood stand and listen carefully. Mr. Hood stand close to the door because a little place. And one mediator, I thought one with the pump left, but I wasn't sure if the shorter one left. And I asked Mr. Hood, Mr. Hood, how much do you charge? He looking at her and she looking at him eyeball to eyeball. And he wouldn't say a word. I asked him 3 times. He refused to answer. Miss Wilkinson got up from her seat and she put her both hands on his shoulders and said, don't worry about him. I already sought him out. Take good note, eh?
Right.
I already sought him out. And she said, that's my brother, my best friend. So we proceeding to the courtroom now.
Right.
But when we went
Hold
into
on
the
one
courtroom,
second. Who else was there? Who else was there to as witness to that conversation?
was both of us, 3 of us. I want to assume, I'm not sure, there was one of the mediators outside the door. I kind of imagine one. I'm not sure which was the dark, shorter one with
Okay.
a black dress.
Okay.
But I'm positive the tall one left.
Okay. Okay.
So that is my assumption. I could be wrong. Now, after the reason why I asked him, how much do you charge? Is because the conversations Miss Wilkinson and I had before she left and go and bring Mr. Hood come.
Right.
He says, I will pay you 50,000 and pay the lawyer fee. She will pay the lawyer fee. She came back and told me they agree.
Okay.
So that's why I did ask him that question.
Right.
But
So
on top
so
of
the
that,
agreement, did the agreement met with a signature? Did you have to sign a document? Did you sign an agreement?
No,
So you physically
no.
or you didn't sign the agreement?
No agreement was signed there.
Okay.
Nothing. We had no books, no pen, no paper. We was in a dark room without light, without wind, without air, without nothing. We was just there sweating like animals. Me, I was sweating like an animal.
Okay. Okay.
I only know Miss Wilson was there with me because she was massaging my head.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right. So then we went to the room now. When we get there, Mr. Hood went back to his desk and I sat on a bench close to the door. And then he called me. And he said, look, sign here. I said, sign what? I said, Mr. Hood, I don't satisfied with what go on there now. I don't understand it and I don't satisfy.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of defensive. And he says, Mrs. Richardson, you're doing the right thing. You did the right thing. Come, I'm a lawyer. Don't you trust me? I said, Mr. Hood, and I refusing the pen. The camera there, the camera, we could watch the camera. I refusing the pen. Mr. Hood, I don't satisfy. I don't satisfy with that. I want him to hear me out. I want him to give me a hearing. Mr. Hood, I don't satisfy. Something is not right. He said, and he spin around himself. He said, come on, just sign the paper. You're doing the right thing. I'm a lawyer. You have to trust me. So I just signed the paper and I go back and sit down. And that was it.
Right.
That was it there.
Okay. So and hold on before you go on. Between that point and any time before, did you have a conversation with your lawyer in regards to payments and future payments?
No, no, no.
Okay.
When I asked him before the court, before any hearing of court, when I asked him, first he explained that sometimes those courts take long. Sometimes it's settled quick. So, he can't really make a price. And he do it, and he said, down the road, down the road. We're going to, we're going to see down the road.
Right. But no figure, no one came to you and said that this would be the
Agreement
figure, or it would be 40%.
agreement about
The-
no. That's the reason why I guess that she will pay him. So that's the reason why I asked him in the law person, because he worked and he's supposed to be paid. So I am asking him how much, because I want to make sure that agreement that he will be paid. So
Right.
I asked him 3 times.
Right.
He refused to answer.
Right.
But she said, I already sought him out.
Right. I
With her
understand that.
both hands on his shoulder.
I understand that. Now, the document that you signed, what was it? What was the document that you signed? What did it say? What did it state?
I don't know. I don't have a clue.
Well, you signed.
Mr.
You signed it. You
Mr.
signed it. Hold on, you signed the document, and you're not sure what you signed. So the document.
No.
Hold on. One second, Ms. Richardson. The document could have said that you forfeit getting any money whatsoever. The document could have said that.
Yes.
But you didn't know what you signed.
Yes. But
You signed it.
no. But the lawyer just told me sign it. And after coming out from this dark room or anyway, whatever, I trying to tell him, I'm not satisfied, I don't understand what's happening, and he's telling me, you do the right thing, you're doing the right thing. I'm you're a lawyer, don't you trust me? So I just signed the paper. I don't know what I signed up to today.
Okay. 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 Well, you know that could still be held against you, correct?
Well, if people looking at the matter on different sides,
Yes.
they would see that I post against my wish and against my will to make any agreement with Mrs. Wilkinson in the dark room. My lawyer was not there, the mediators was not there. And when I came out, all he told me, sign here. And I'm telling him, I don't agree. I don't understand. I don't understand what's happening, Mr. Hood.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that he will have a conversation. And, he just said, well, I'm your lawyer. You're supposed to try. You just signed it. The camera could see how many
Yes.
times I go back
No,
and forth.
I completely understand all that stuff. I understand all that stuff. But I just want to make it clear that the fact that you signed that document, regardless at this point in time, you was in conscious mind. At the time of signing the document, you signed the document and you didn't read the document, then they have, a lot of people might say, case closed. Because here you are, you gave up whatever right that you signed to. And that document could have said, okay, legitimately, you owe Mr. Hood 40% of your total earning. And it could have said that,
Right.
furthermore, the other 60% have to be given to charity, for that matter. It could have said anything. But the fact that you didn't read that document, you didn't sign the document, even if you said now that you signed under duress, it would be hard to prove that. Legally, I'm talking about. It would be hard to prove that because you signed the document.
Legally, you see why I didn't hire any lawyer in Grenada to follow up this case? Because I don't trust any one of them after what happened to these 2 lawyers with me. But
Yes.
legally, the lawyer could prove, I could prove, they could have the 2 mediators for the witness. Nobody was there with me in that dark room except Mrs. Wilkinson. And that was done because, oh my goodness, sign the thing because you're going to the court and the judge already decide that the case will dismiss. Dismiss means you're not getting anything. So in other words, my lawyer was not there. Where was the fair trial?
Right.
Where
What?
was the fair thing?
Well, there was
And
a
the
trial.
lawyer,
There was a trial. There are two different things. Okay, so you could claim, okay, the lawyer's supposed to be there to protect your interest, and you probably put a lot of faith and trust in your lawyer. But at the end, if the court wants to speed up these trials, they don't want it to go through full trial. If they come to an agreement and they could get a signature today, they'll take that because it cut back from going through the whole process. The judge say, okay, well, you guys came to an agreement. Good, fine. You have a signature. Good, fine. This is the signature. You signed it. End of story. End of case. Everybody go
yeah,
home.
but
We're good.
Mr. Judge, look at it, eh?
Yes.
The judge sent to me, Peter. Excuse. I had my lawyer, and nobody was there. I was like a rabbit given to Miss Wilkinson, who may be a lion to devour
All right.
by Mr. Hood, given over.
Okay.
He was not there. He didn't know what the conversation was. The mediator was not there. I was depressed. I was frustrated because she's telling me going to the court doesn't make no sense because it will dismiss and all these things. No, no, I should have been there. On the other hand,
Right.
I came from this dark room there, half good, half I don't know. And he, when I keep telling him I don't understand what's going on,
Right.
I believe my lawyer should have go through the papers with me because that time I couldn't really think that is what my lawyer was supposed to do. To go through the papers with me. Don't come and say sign that. I signed that, I don't know.
Okay.
The lawyer I tell him, I trust him.
Okay. Okay. Got that. So you signed it, and what happened afterwards?
What happened afterwards? When they called me to come and pick up the check.
Right.
When I reached there, 5 submit the correction on the figures there, but 5 to 8,000 was discounted. So I tell the secretary, no, let me speak to Mr. Hood. That's the first time, eh?
Right.
So she put it on the phone. And as soon as Mr. Hood, I said, Morning, Mr. Hood. He said, I don't want, with a thunder of a voice, I don't want to see you anywhere around my office again. If I see you anywhere around my office, and he goes like almost a minute, and then he hung up. So I left the chair and I went down to the court registry. And I was advised there to accept the check, do what you have to do. And while we're going through the process to get a hearing. So I left and I went home. And 2 days after, I went back again to the registry. I said, what did you, why should I accept the check? Because I wanted to speak to Mr. Hood regarding our agreement. I want to know if he already collect money. In my presence, the woman said, I already sought him out. So my interpretation is that she paid him based on our discussion while she and I were there. And she said, I will give you 50,000 and pay your lawyer. So now she's saying, I already sought him out, and I asked him. He refused to answer. They're just looking at each other eyeball to eyeball. My
Right.
brother, my best friend. So 2 days after I went back, they said, no, you collect it and we go get a hearing. And we, in the hearing, that will be settled, When I went back, they did not like I said, figures. But anyway, he decided to give me 20 something thousand. So I left.
Right.
But what I really want to say here, the money, yes, is true, but I want the listening audience to know, the listening public, is not but more so about the money that they promised me and didn't give me. It's the principle between the two lawyers, how I felt, how they handle the matter. Somebody accused me from murder and theft, and I come to you with my trouble. Right? You have to get paid. Yeah. So in other words, I paid you for my trouble. And in my opinion, I was victimized, conspiracy against the two lawyers against me.
You felt
I was
that you were victimized. You believed that you were victimized.
yes. So I mean, I all I wanted at this point in time now is to get a hearing from the registry so that these two people will not get the opportunity to do that to anybody else if they haven't done it to many people already. I don't know.
Right.
But I could only prove what it has done to me.
Right.
And now I'm saying
Hold on,
that
hold on one second. Let's just take a pin there real quick. I gotta take a quick programming note here and disclaimer that the views and opinion expressed by the guests on tonight's program, particularly on any sensitive topics, are solely those of the guests and do not reflect the views and opinion of and policies of RideAlong Live, its management, or affiliate. RideAlong Live is committed to providing a platform for open dialogue while maintaining neutrality on opinions shared by the guests. We encourage our viewers to approach all discussions on this platform with an open mind and respect the different perspective. I wanted to just take a quick answer a quick question here from one of our viewer, Lacey J. Say, can you explain it, please? It didn't go to court, or was it settled? It was settled. All right. It was prospectively. It was settled, Lacey J. So the judge recommend that they have mediation and it's settled, and it was in fact settled. And the amount was talked about and signed to, and that's what the dispute is here. Because now Ms. Richardson is claiming that she felt that the lawyer didn't represent her properly. That's her claim, and because of that, she feel that there was some sort of relationship between the two lawyers that prevented, and that's her thoughts, that prevented the lawyer from representing her thoroughly and properly. So she's claiming, although she signed the document, she felt like she did it under some sort of duress. Right? That's her claim. All right. Miss Richardson, go ahead.
now I'm here, I'm saying that look, my granddaughter is in law school. And I asking myself, is when you see big time lawyer and everybody wants to be lawyer, is this is what they do to get what they have to achieve? No, look, look, I would not have hired or go to any lawyer in Grenada because I don't trust, based on my experience with the two lawyers. My lawyer let me down to a wolf, and the wolf do anything at any cost to prove her case. I got mentally ill. I mean, look,
Right. Did you take any of this to the legal commission, the GLC?
yes, everybody, Mr. Judge, everybody is sending me back to the court registry. I went to the Attorney General. Everybody, everywhere you go, is sending me there. And it's over a year. Every time I call, they're busy, they don't have time. Now, if I did murder these two goodly gentlemen, as I was accused of, you think I would have been outside here today? Do you think the lawyer would have come with the other lawyer to set me free? If I was anywhere around These people at that point in time or months before, you think I would have been outside today? When people have money and they're big and they're rich and they say, don't you know who I am? I am a millionaire. They could do anything and get away with it. I mean, it's not fair. Mr. George, people, I mean, you know what? I thank you and I praise you for taking up that. Because people in Grenada are here afraid. They won't take it, even if I have the evidence. They wouldn't take it. Where was the two mediators the judge sent according to Miss Wilkinson to make sure that we have a fair settlement? Mr. Judge, was it a settlement? Was it fair? Was it what? Where was my lawyer? When I was caging with the wolf, where was my lawyer? Who was it chain? Where was the mediator? Did they get paid for that day? I mean, come on, let's look at it. You cannot interrogate a prisoner without the lawyer being present in the when you arrest somebody in a cell. And my lawyer promised me and promised Miss Wilkinson, who would promise Wilkinson to interrogate and do whatever she feel and throw a price and I have to accept it at any cost. Is that justice? You see people that kill themselves and kill people. Sit down here and do, and a lot of people doesn't know.
I don't. Don't go down that way. Don't go down that way about taking people and stuff like that. Now, I understand the frustration, but I don't want to go down that road. That's opening up another set of things. Now let's talk about how this thing has affected you thus far. How has it affected your physical and psychological life?
Right now, I am on 90% paroxetine. I'm on lorazepam. I'm on alprazolam. But I was lucky. The doctor name just not coming back, because I just getting dislocated now. And well, I was supposed to go up to get treatment, but my daughter says, no, you go nowhere. And she take me to this psychologist in the food fair upstairs, slim guy. And up to now, I cannot find a job. Nobody will hire me. With all this stigma around me, no, look at me. Am I feeble? I mean, I have life. When I went to work for these people, I was very wealthy. I was the most wealthiest woman health-wise. Hence the reason why they was calling me left, right, and center to work. After I did all that, I worked my care and so on. I did give them the best caring until one could have recommended me to another one. And both somebody good care. No, I was accused, Mr. Judge, you don't know what it is, I was nowhere. I tried my best. This man tried to jump over and was a big man. I hold him and I pull him back. Both of us fall in the employer person and she didn't put her finger to help her father or me. I damaged myself. When I went to the doctor, give me 1 week sick leave. But on top of that, you see this corruption. When I went to the labor, up to now, put it under the carpet. And this hearing in the justice place, the registry, is already under the carpet.
Right.
Because it's over a year and hearing nothing.
Right.
The labor people telling me that I have nothing to claim from this to come down. Is that justice? Where is justice?
Right. Mr. President, let me ask you this. In reference to that $200,000, during the time when you obtain a lawyer, retain a lawyer, You basically tell him the story and you give him an idea as to what you're looking for, what you're looking at. Did that $200,000 figure ever came up prior?
No, no. The
Okay.
only time the 200,000 came up is when he called me on the phone and said they offered me 20,000 to settle the matter. And I
Okay.
said no. And he said to me, how much you looking at? I said 200,000. He said, no, Miss Richardson, that is too much. That was the first time that 200,000 came up. And the second time it came up is when I told Miss Wilkinson, and she offered me 30,000 to pay me in 6 months. And I said no. And she asked me how much. And I said to her, 200,000. That is the second time this money come up. And Mr. Hood was not included in that conversation there. He was not present. He was on the other side of the building.
Yeah. It has been a year and some, over a year, probably over 2 years now since this happened. I know this affects you physically, psychologically, and otherwise. Why are you coming
Yeah.
to the medium now? To the media now? Why are you reaching out now? Why are you sharing this story now?
No, Mr. Judge, I went to the registry and I was waiting to get a hearing. And in the process of that, I got ill.
Okay.
But I seek, when I recover, when my mind sort of come back and so on, when I could remember certain things, because I had a blackout. I burned everything, every paper, everything, because I wanted to block out so much. Listen, it was crazy. And I went to GBN Fred. They tell me they will come to me. I call the radio station a few times and talk about it on the calling program and talk about it. Nobody don't want the case because they're afraid.
Mm-hmm.
So when I tried to contact Dr. Bob when he was in Grenada, this time I get well to a point. This time I'm like who I am now. Then I tried to contact him, but the phone wasn't all how I dialed the number, it wasn't clicking. And when somebody told me about you, I tried that. So I was seeking help from the one, but just wasn't getting help
Right. Right.
because I'm a nobody.
For full clarity, guys, for full clarity, after Ms. Richardson shared the story with us, as I said from the top, we reached out to everyone. I did reach out and had a very candid conversation with her lawyer, Mr. Hood. We spoke about the process. It was, in fact, retained. The difference, the sort of clarification that I didn't get here was that explanation of that percentage that was taken out of your final amount. I was under the impression and understanding that that was something that you knew and that was made aware to you as far as that amount. Because, of course, there are certain fees that the lawyer would retain. It's very legal to do so. Anyway, so I just want to say that I did speak to Mr. Hood. He did tell me that you were he was in fact retained as your attorney. I went as far and contacted your former employer that did in fact corroborated some of the information that you presented here today. I went as far as to contact the lawyer, right? And we did have, again, a very candid conversation on what transpired. There are a lot of difference between your story as relayed here today and what was articulated by the attorney for the defendant in this particular case here as it relates to that deliberation, that talk, that conversation. Neither here nor there. But nonetheless, we do understand that at this point, you did receive X amount of money, but that wasn't clear to you that that money would have been taken out by the attorney, which I thought that was explained, but that could have been something that's in the document that you signed. We don't know what's in the document. Do you have a copy of that document that you signed?
No, I didn't. I didn't get any copy of that document in the court.
Okay.
No, he didn't get that. I haven't yet received that. Did I sign it? We left, and I never see or had any contact with him again ever. More than when I went there and I asked to speak to him,
Right.
and he cussed me off. So
Right.
no documents.
Right.
We never met. Never.
Right. The
So I
lawyer
don't know what to
the lawyer of the defendant claimed that that conversation that you had, that she had with you, was as a result of trying to come to a resolution, right? That conversation in that room, which she did admit that she spoke to you in a room. She held your hand for a little while, and they had the conversation trying to come to a number, trying to come to a figure. And that figure arrived at that 50,000. Whether you agreed to it, but there was some conversation as it relates to that amount, which was mandated by the judge. So the judge asked that if they could go to the mediation, they could come up with a number, and that they could move forward with the case, and that was achieved during that conversation here.
But Mr. Judge, this is what she says.
Yes.
I don't know if Miss Judge said that. But hear this. When she was trying to come up with a figure, where was my lawyer? And where was the mediators?
Right. And
Why did she take me out of the courtroom from my lawyer with my lawyer permission? Why did she take me out from the courtroom where we all could have sit down and talk? That's why the judge sent the mediator and take me to that room. Why did she do that? Is that lawful? Is that what lawyer does?
right. Now, I did in fact ask that question, and I think I need further clarification, and I'm going to seek further clarification on if there are other legal minds that could answer that question here. The lawyer, or your lawyer, you're the claimant in this particular case. This is the claimant lawyer allowing the defendant lawyer to interrogate his client to come to a settlement without him being present, right? So that is a clarification that I'm trying to ascertain. I'm trying to find out. I'm trying to seek clarity on if that's a normal process. Because at the end of the day, what I do believe, or what I think is that if the claimant, which is you, your attorney, should be seeking the maximum amount of money, because of course, if you get 100,000, 200,000, whatever you get, and his percentage would be a part of whatever you claim. So he should try to get the most from that particular settlement, just for his interest alone, and to satisfy you as a client. So that's I'm seeking clarity on that. Yes.
Mr. Judge, Mr. Hood and I never. The only time I heard about this percentage is when you tell me. We never discussed
No. We didn't talk. Let me be clear. I wasn't clear. No one told me the percentage. I'm just saying. I know it's about 40%. So they didn't tell me 40%. No one told me 40%. I'm just saying 40% because I know that is around the legal figure. Yeah.
The percentage, because when I ask him, he says to me that those matters, sometimes it take up a short space of time, it have a settlement, or it prolong in court. So he couldn't give me a price day. And we never talk about that money part again, more than when we get to the Miss Wilkinson told me she going to pay my lawyer fees. So when she told me she's going to pay the lawyer fees, so he wasn't there. But when he came, based on the conversation between Miss Wilkinson and I asked him, Mr. Hood, how much do you charge? 3 times. They're both looking at each other eyeball to eyeball. He refused to answer. She get up from where she was sitting and she put her both hands on his shoulders and said, I already sought him out. He's my brother and my best Friend, God is my witness, I don't lie. So therefore is why he was not there. He know we didn't talk about no percentage. So therefore he knows that anything I get, he ain't no percentage to get because based on my understanding, she already paid him. I already sought him out. How much it be? He didn't say. She didn't say.
Right.
So there was no way in our discussion of any, if the case settle, when the case finish, if we win, we go charge X amount. There was no conversation ever, ever. And that is the honest truth, what I'm telling you here.
Right.
And wow, the question is why? Mr. Hood, what you had to gain? Miss Wilkinson, what do you all have to gain for people accuse me of murder? It's not an easy thing. If
Right.
Miss Wilkinson had any evidence that I passed through those places in the day or the night, she'd have streamed me like how you going through papers.
Right. But I think the
You
question, the
understand?
question is, the question at this point is not if those claims were made or not by your former employer. The question is not that because the former employer accept liability. Your former employer said yes. And for whatever reason,
But
whether they wanted to get rid of it, whether they just wanted to move on, not go through with it, not go through the court process, whatever reason the former or just accept claim, whatever reason the former employee decided to settle, that is accepted. They accepted, okay, they're liable and they're willing to pay. So I don't think that that's a question here. If it was done or not, they accept claim and they're paying you off. They're saying that okay, well, for whatever reason, we're moving forward with it. So it's not a question.
But okay, instead of Mr. Hood, the way it looked, the way it seems, as I said, instead of Mr. Hood, my lawyer, and Miss Wilkinson come together and allow the court, when I asked for 200,000, force me to accept. Instead of my lawyer say, well, she don't want to accept that, let us go to court, and what the judge decide, we'll go with that. But no, they forced me to sign some papers I don't know what to sign. They forced me to do this, they forced me to do that. I do it under duress.
Okay.
Based on the evidence, everybody to figure out that. So now, instead of they have the millionaire pay the 200,000, they must pay the 200,000.
Right. All right. So Ms. Richardson, at this point in time, you are here. What are you looking to gain? What are you looking for at this point in time, going forward, moving forward? What do you wanna? What do you
Moving
wanna?
forward,
What do you wanna get? What's your objective at this point?
yes, I want the people that is above the lawyers to call them to order.
Okay.
From a discipline should take place. Either they take the license for life or so, because
Yeah.
I mean it's so illegal to do what they did to
But
me.
that's what the
And I
GLC is for. Have you
went
pursued
to
that?
them and I sent them to the registry, Mr. George. They sent me back there. You see, because I'm up against big liars, big Gandhi. Who am I? I'm a nobody. And they should pay me the 200,000 for killing the case and pain and suffering. And I yet to understand if the judge really told Miss Wilkinson, as she told you, and she told me, that the judge said they must settle the case because she go dismiss it. The judge get my hearing.
Right.
How come the judge could say she will dismiss the case so the judge bogus too?
Right. No. Well,
If
hold
the
on.
judge
No. Let's not go there. What we're saying is that they want to mediate. There was a process of mediation stating that let them come together and find out if there could be a settlement out of court so that they don't have to go through the lengthy process. So
and that,
right. So then the lawyer,
but
of course, lawyers in Grenada, it's a Grenada is a small place. All lawyers know each other. So my understand, well, not my general sense of it is that there was a consensus to mediate and take this thing out of court. So the judge probably would have said to the claimant, not the claimant, to the defendant attorney and your attorney to try to work this thing out. Try to see how you guys could work this thing out with Ms. Richardson and see how we could come to a number that could work, we could all agree to, and you could sign to. That process, probably, it went
She
to the,
didn't do it.
but it went to the process where they had a conversation, and however the conversation had, because it is disputed how that conversation went, but that conversation went in a way, and at the end of the conversation, it produced a document that you ultimately signed to, right? That ultimately signed to. And that document then would have been taken back to the judge and say, okay, well, we have an agreement. The agreement is such. The agreement is XYZ. And that information is then carried, and that is what it is. The settlement is the number that is seen on the document that, by the way, you didn't get a chance to read or have a copy of, right? So that cut the process.
But Mr. Judge, if the judge sent two mediators to have a fair settlement, that is normal. I would like to think so. But it should be discussed between myself, my lawyer, the mediators, and the other lawyer. But my lawyer didn't even call me aside and say to me, the judge sent in two mediators so we could try to have a settlement. He never mentioned anything. He was never included in the conversation. My lawyer was nowhere wrong in the conversation in the courtroom, and he was nowhere neither the mediator was in the dark room. You see, so how can, but the judge wouldn't know that.
Right.
The judge will only know that if I got a hearing, maybe so. But is that legal? How can this be legal?
Right.
How can this be legal? You know, I mean, still, look, I might be dunce and stupid and can't read and so on. So Mr. Hood take advantage of that. And up to now, I don't have the papers that I signed, so I do not know what was in that paper.
Right.
Because all he said to me, sign the paper. You see? So, I mean, what I'm saying is can anybody in the right mind feel that was fair settlement?
Right.
Or that was really settlement? That was not just bogus, abuse, victimization there?
Right. And you believe, that's
Because
your belief. That's your belief that you were victimized in this case.
Because, yes, I believe that. Because I'm a nobody, I'm coming up against millionaires, top lawyers. They
Right.
could push you, you know what? They didn't expect that up to today. They're surprised that up to today I'm alive and still living with it and seeking to get clarified,
Okay.
seeking to get justice.
Okay. Well, listen, Ms. Richardson, again, I really hope that at the end of this, there's some unanswered question that could be answered from your perspective. It was important that you get this story out there because you feel, it was your belief, it's your gut feeling. That's how you feel. Nobody could say that you can't feel that way. You felt that you were pressured. You felt like you
Yes, I will.
you felt like you was taken advantage of, and that's how you felt.
Yes.
You
So-
convey that information. You felt so much so that you, as you was telling me, I don't know if you want to put out an air, that you became suicidal. You became psychologically unstable. So you felt it affected you in many ways. It affected you in many ways. But let's just hope here, Ms. Richardson, that there could be some sort of conclusion, further conclusion, because for you, it's not concluded. It has not ended. There are a lot of still unanswered questions. And as much clarity as we try to seek, as I said, I spoke to Ms. Wilkinson extensively to find out, to get clarification on certain things. I've spoken to your lawyer, I've spoken to former employee to get clarification. And it obviously seems that there definitely is a disconnect in what happened here, and further clarification need to be sought. But we hope and wish you all the best going forward. We are a little bit over time, so we have to wrap it up. Some quick words, 30 seconds before we wrap it up here. Sorry?
I want to take, give me a few seconds, please, to say thank you very much. I really appreciate you giving me a listening ears, because nobody else here wanted to do it. I've tried, and everybody just keeps sending me back to place. So I'm very grateful. I appreciate, and may your business continue to be blessed, and it shall continue to be well with you and your ministry, just for listening me and giving me a hearing. I feel a great relief. Thank you and blessings.
Thank you so much, Ms. Richardson. Let me just say again, guys, RideAlong is a platform where everyone has a story to tell. It was important that Ms. Richardson, share her story, and wish her all the best going forward in getting further clarification. We must also say that the views and opinion expressed here by the guests on tonight's program, particularly of any sensitive topic or nature, are solely those of the guests and do not reflect the views, opinion, or policies of RideAlong Live, its management, or its affiliates. RideAlong Live is committed to providing a platform for open dialogue while maintaining neutrality on opinions shared by the guests. We encourage viewers to approach all discussions here with an open mind and respect the difference of opinion, which I'm sure we're going to hear a lot from tonight. Don't move, we'll be right back. RideAlong Live.
When I need shelter, warmth, security, I know you'll be there. Something in these moments lets me know you care. Maybe the way you shield me, maybe it's your smiles and the way you tell me it's okay to try. Now I'm invincible, I can pack my sack, I can take the long road, 'cause it's okay to look back if I am scared. I know you're there. Arise, together there's no limit to what we can do. Arise, with no wings, fly. Arise, and we're so high, enjoy the view. Arise, look, no wings, fly.
This is Ariza, your financial freedom.
Are you a progressive young leader, a proactive emerging executive, a rising professional? Then you need appropriate cover for your vehicle. Introducing the Pro Motor Plan from Beacon. Car insurance that includes free loss of use, windscreen cover up to $3,500, free special perils, free accident forgiveness. Get Beacon's Pro Motor Plan today. Don't procrastinate. Call Beacon today at 440-4447 or visit beacongrenada.com.
Celebrating 40 years is a significant milestone that often evokes reflection, gratitude, and recognition of accomplishment.
Feeling very excited about it. When I reflect on it, some artists took 10 to 15 years before they get through. They keep knocking at the door. The first time the nation heard about Elimas Gilbert, they show me that love, they show me that respect. They go crazy over the beats, they go crazy over the excitement, they go crazy over the rhythm. And I appreciate that.
Sunday, August 3rd at the Progress Park in St. Andrew. It's Specky 40. Tickets available from GoToFed.com. Presented by Elimas Gilbert in association with the Spice Mass Corporation and Sedu.
Who want to jam a jamming too?
Hi, I want $10 on Playway, $20 backup on Pick 3, and cash for each, please.
Okay, are you adding multi-X to your bet?
Yes, multi-X, all of them.
Smart! Best value bet. Backup and multi-X, you cannot go wrong.
Don't matter the bet, multi-X all of the daily games.
With multi-X added, your winnings can be multiplied 3 times, 5 times, even 7 times. So make it a rule. Add multi-X to all your playway, daily pick 3, and daily cash for bets every day and for every drop, and watch your money grow. Available at stores and online.
You heard it here. Multiply your winnings daily. Must be 18 or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
Looking for the ultimate island experience? Hop on the Ride Tuk Tuk Rum Punch Tour and explore Grenada like never before. Feel the tropical breeze, sip on authentic Caribbean rum punch, and cruise through Grenada's stunning scenery in our unique and fun tuk-tuks. It's the perfect blend of adventure and island flavor. Book your unforgettable tour now at ride.gd or call 473-422-1011. Don't just see Grenada, experience it with Ride Tuk Tuk Rum Punch Tours today.
Yeah, RideAlong Live, guys. Thanks again for watching our Thursday program. RideAlong Live again is the platform where everyone has a story to tell. And in all of these instances, guys, we do our due diligence in getting all parties involved. So I'm satisfied that we did, everything that we needed to do. And I believe, although there may be and there will be difference of opinion in every single story, we expect that. We do wish all parties could come together mutually and see how they could fix or mend whatever the misunderstanding that they may have at this point in time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of our program, guys. Oh, don't forget. I almost forgot to tell you guys. We are running very, very, very low on some of our Monday Night Mass package. Remember, Monday Night Mass, we're there on the boat, right? We're there on the boat. We're there on the boat and we're sailing on the boat, right? So we're limited in packages. So what you could do right now is go ahead and grab your package. The link is at the bottom. Click that link, purchase your package. If you're going to be in Grenada, we want to see you on the boat. S to C. Monday Night Mass with amazing colors on the boat. Catch you guys again tomorrow. I think we got a giveaway. Yes, we got a giveaway. Next week, we're having a giveaway for Monday Night Mass package with amazing colors. Amazing! Also, guys, if you're looking for a taxi 24 hours, you want to get a tour, but of course, link up. The ride crew is 422-1011. That's 473-422-1011. Airport pickup, tours, and a whole lot more. Check it out online at ride.gd or call again 473-422-1011. Ride.